Hey Frugivore, welcome back to another episode. So we're going to react today to another SuperSize vs SuperSkinny, but it should be called Superfat vs SuperSkinny, shouldn't it? Think about that. So this is season 7, episode 8, I eat lots of meat. So perfect for me to react to. And don't worry, my 600-pound life is coming back, but I thought we'd do a few of these in the meantime. And I've got my outfit of the day here. I'm wearing a date necklace. This is made out of date seeds, these necklaces, which I thought was pretty cool. Love that. If you don't know who I am, by the way, I'm Freelee. Have you been living under a rock? I'm a fruit-based nutritionist, and I'm here to help you stop binge eating and start losing weight forever. No calorie restriction, okay? And I do that through my coaching, one-on-one coaching. I make personalized fruit-based meal plans for you, and I specialize in those of you who are over 200 pounds. I also have books. I also have these like signed copies. I sign these. We've only got about 15 bundles left, okay, where I sign it, and I also put a paragraph for you in each book, and I send it out to you wherever you are in the world. So check it out. There's a link in the description below to everything I just spoke about. Okay, let's go then. Let's go. I eat lots of meat.
Tonight on SuperSize vs SuperSkinny.
Are you ever hungry?
Super Skinny Sam and 35-stone Michael fight their food demons in the clinic.
Okay, so we're going to find out the weight of these guys in pounds very soon. What is that, like cornflakes?
That there is a year's worth of your crisps.
Michael crosses the pond for some stateside shock treatment.
This is absolutely one of the worst places to live your life.
Experts calculate that by the year 2050, obesity and its related illnesses will cost the UK £50 billion a year.
Well, that is interesting because already in the USA, I believe it's over 200 billion that is costing the NHS, which is a health service, like the government, medical, that is crazy, right? 200 billion in the USA already. It's a big strain on the community and on taxpayers.
At the other extreme, anorexia has the highest mortality rate of any psychiatric disorder, with 20...
But I wonder how much of a strain that is on taxpayers and on the community. It's not big. Pun intended. You know, like this is the difference. On the polar opposite, we have something that is not a huge problem when you look at statistics. Not a big issue at all, but obviously for some individuals.
% of sufferers dying prematurely from their illness. As a result, Dr. Christian has opened the doors to his feeding clinic once again, where
yes, we love the feeding clinic.
He's taking on terrible diets at both ends of the scale. He's inviting 8 supersizers and 8 super skinnies to swap meals and face their dangerous diets head on.
Michael, come on forward. So, Michael, I have paired you with Sam.
Okay, so Sam looks healthy in the face, first up.
Hiya, mate.
Hiya. You're right.
Sure, how much do you weigh, man?
8 stone.
8 stone. I'm 4 of you.
Okay, 4 8 to 32. So he's 32 stone and he is 8 stone. So I'm going to find out how much that is. Okay, so that's 112 pounds. The super skinny is 112 pounds and the super fat is about 450 pounds. Huge difference between the two.
When I first saw Michael, I was quite terrified. I'm roughly the weight of one of his legs.
My first thought running through his head was that he needed a sandwich. I think that he is going to be rather shocked by my diet and I'm not going to pull any punches. Like, I don't think he'll manage it.
I have a feeling this guy likes to be skinny.
Michael's going to be hungry. He might like what I eat, but he'll be hungry because there won't be a lot of it.
Weighing in at 35 stone, Michael is our heaviest supersizer, and his appetite is every bit as big as his personality. And he is going to be appalled at Sam's meager sushi snacks with not a lot of
Sushi snacks. Okay, you know, I like the sushi, obviously plant-based.
else. But their extreme diets are putting them at risk of serious health problems. And I'm hoping that by putting them together in the feeding clinic, they'll help each other to make a full recovery.
29-year-old Mike.
Sorry, he just looked like a penguin then. Did you see? I'm not making fun of him. Like, I'm just saying he literally looked like a little penguin.
To make a full recovery.
29-year-old Michael weighs in at 35 stone. This mountain of a man has a waistline of 71 inches, which is nearly twice the national average.
Well, of course I enjoy food. Look at me. Leaner the better, man. I'm watching my figure. I am a massive, massive carnivore. Lamb, beef, chicken, turkey, duck, venison, rabbit.
Look, if he was actually a massive carnivore, then he wouldn't look like this, would he? Because that's the way he's meant to eat. Carnivores aren't going to get morbidly obese from eating meat because they're actually carnivores, but we are frugivores. So this is a good example of what happens when you think you're a carnivore and you eat like one. But I mean, he's not even eating like one either. He's not eating his meat raw or anything like this.
Eat a lot of meat.
And not just a lot, but often too. Working 3 jobs as a youth worker, teacher and doorman, Michael's constantly eating on the run.
I might be going from...
See, the only actual fuel he got there was from the disaccharides from the actual, the cola that he had. You know, he's getting this sucrose, which breaks down to fructose and glucose in the body. It's pure energy. It's great, except for the carbonic acid. It has other additives I don't recommend. I recommend you have juice if you're going to have something like that. But see, that's where he's getting some fuel. The meat, no fiber. Okay, sure, there's some fuel coming in, but there's no fiber. It's not very satisfying, so he's going to want to eat more and more very often.
Job 1 to job 2, so I might pick something up on the fly. And then I might be going from job 2 to job 3 and I'll pick something else up on the fly. And then when I'm coming home, I might stop in like a drive-through and pick up something. And I'll see that as a...
See, this is malnourished body behavior. Malnourished body and brain screaming out for clean carbohydrates and actual like vitamins, living nutrition.
Snack. What I see as a snack is what some people will eat for a main meal and I'll go home and I'll eat again. So I'll probably have to vote 4, 5, 6 times there.
But on top of that, he's a super snacker.
I call myself the world's worst grazer. My main weakness is crisps, unfortunately. I'm like a cookie monster going at it, you know. Hum, hum, hum.
And it's super expensive too. I was in a supermarket yesterday and someone bought some crisps in front of me and it was only like 120 grams for about $7. And I'm like, hang on, this is so little food, so much fat in that little food and so expensive.
But Michael's friends are alarmed by his endless eating.
People are worried about him now that he's not going to live much longer if he does keep on the way he is.
Like just to reiterate what I was just saying there, like you can get 1.5 kilos of bananas or more. I mean, organic bananas, even 1.5 kilos. So that many calories, so much more for that same packet of chips. Anyway, crazy.
And there's an emotional cost to being 35 stone.
When you go onto a bus, you get stared at. You know, you gotta be careful where you sit. When you go into a restaurant, you're stared at. Sometimes it really gets to me.
Yeah, because people are just like, hang on a second, what is this guy doing? He is obviously overweight. This is wrong. Humans are not meant to look this way. So people will always look at you. Use it as motivation to change, to show them that you can change, you can step up, you can be the best version of yourself.
If I had one aim from doing this, it would just be to blend into the crowd and not be the focus of attention.
But it's not just judgments of strangers that bother Michael. It's the fear his size could cost him his independence.
What about cost you your life?
I don't want to be one of those people that get so big that they're trapped in their bedrooms. Because being surrounded by 4 walls into a nothing is my idea of hell.
You're heading there. You're very, very close. Very, very close. My 600-pound life, he's 450. He can easily eat himself there within a year.
Whilst Michael may be our largest supersizer this year, 23-year-old...
Why was he doing that little bum tap on his belly? That looked a little bit inappropriate.
Whilst Michael may be our largest supersizer this year, 23 counted.
I don't know about that. Okay.
Sam Lancashire has some of the smallest measurements we've ever encountered.
I'm 6'1" with a 24-inch waist and a 30.
He is definitely under eating, and I have a feeling it is deliberate to be kind of like a bit feminine, if you know what I'm saying.
4-inch chest. In women's sizes, that's a size 0.
So slender that his company had to have his uniform made specially for him.
I'm a flight attendant. I fly long and short haul routes. I work very varied hours, very long hours.
Crossing time zones, running up and down aisles and taking care of everyone else's needs means that Sam frequently neglects his own.
In a week, I will normally miss.
Well, I have a feeling there's a bit of deliberate. It's a bit deliberate, okay?
6 out of 7 breakfasts and 4 out of 7 lunches.
And this is causing concern for his dad too.
I am concerned about Sam. He's never been a big eater, and now he's all over the place with his job. He's having breakfast at dinner time and things like that.
Skipping meals means that style-conscious Sam struggles to find fashion that fits.
Style conscious, another sign he is into his appearance, probably more than you need to be.
Shopping is a very frustrating experience for me. I generally can't fit into teen sizes or anything like that because you don't get many 6'1" trousers.
And I have a feeling he is going to the solarium as well. He wants to look tanned.
And
I mean, how much sun is there in England? How much, is there enough sun for you to get tanned? Not usually, maybe in summer.
now it's more than looks that are on his mind.
I have been told by doctors that I'm prone to things like collapsed lungs, bad backs, because I'm so tall and thin. So that...
He also has his teeth whitened and he looks healthy in the face. Okay, he looks healthy. He just needs to bulk up his portions, right? Eat more. Anyway, we're getting into it, but I'm already like in my advice mode.
does worry me an awful lot. This is the one thing that I need to sort out for me now. This is what I need to do for me.
But before they enter the feeding clinic, it's Michael's turn to jump on a flight, as Dr. Christian's sending him to Virginia, USA, for a terrifying glimpse of his possible future if he continues on his current path.
I'm scared of what I'm going to see out there because I think it'll be a massive reality check. Back home, there isn't anyone
Literally, massive reality check.
bigger than me, so perhaps to see that comparison and see someone that's bigger than me, I'm guessing it'll only be a couple of stone off me. I think I would shock me because I don't see myself as other people see me, so it'd be quite interesting.
Awaiting Michael's arrival in America is a former outdoors man, hunter and fisherman.
Hunter and fisherman. And there you go. And there's a good result of eating a lot of animal tissue. It's just not health food. It's just not for the frugivore.
My name is Jeff Mitchell. I'm 50 years old. I weigh 40 stone and 8 pounds.
Okay, he's almost 600 pounds.
I liken my problem, eating disorder, to an addiction to heroin.
Well, it is a little bit different, obviously, because you can't survive without food, and there isn't anything that is like, it's not the same as that word. I'm not going to say that word again, but it's definitely, there are addictive properties. We have spoken about the cheese, the casomorphins, and there's other addictive properties, but we could all get into this position. I still see it as individuals avoiding something in their life, like procrastinating, hoarding feelings. They're hoarding these feelings. We could all easily get like this because food is involved and we need to eat. So, yeah.
It takes over your mind, it takes over your body, and it takes control of your life.
Now he's starting to sound very victim-like. It takes control of your life, of your body. Like, I have no control over it. Yes, you do. Yes, you do have control over it. See what I mean? Like, yes, I have empathy for these individuals, but when they start talking like victims like this, that's just going to keep them where they're at. You can't have this like idea like, oh, something else has taken me over and I can't control myself. Yes, you can.
Years of comfort eating and extreme weight gain mean that until recently, he'd been bedbound for 3 years.
I might as well be in a jail cell somewhere with somebody threw away the key because, there's so little you can do.
That's right. There's so little you can do and you have control. Obesity is a choice. okay? Yes, when you get to this stage, things are harder, but you just have to suck it up and get it done and start actually educating yourself and changing your life, or else what's going to happen? You're going to die prematurely.
The only journeys he's made in recent years have been in an ambulance. Jeff suffered renal failure, pneumonia, lymphedema, chronic bronchitis and heart problems.
All of that is a huge strain on the community, okay, on the healthcare system. Obesity, morbid obesity, it is a choice, but there are actual conditions that are out of people's control. But this one is in his control. But see all these ambulance visits, there's a whole lot of prescription medication involved. Yeah.
I'm not the person I used to be. When my wife met me, I could walk these mountains and climb these hills.
Father to 9-year-old Jed,
Is that true though?
Jeff put on so much weight that his wife Sherry had to give up her job to become a full-time carer.
Again, see, another person impacted. She's given up her full-time job to become a full-time carer. And so I'm guessing she gets a pension from the government, from taxpayers, to stay home and look after him.
He gets depressed. He wants to be able to go and do things. He feels like he's not a good father, he's not a good husband. The depression makes him want to eat more.
And what are you feeding him, love? What are you feeding him?
So it's a vicious cycle.
Being trapped and reliant on the help of others is one of Michael's biggest fears.
I'm terrified at seeing the glimpse of my future if I carry on the path I'm on.
I'm sorry, that looks funny. This gives me Wally vibes all over again.
Hey, man.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm all right. Good to see you. Good to welcome to Virginia.
Well, pleasure, mate.
Glad to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Oh, wow. The purple, like his circulation must be absolutely terrible, and parts of him look like they are dying right here, and wow.
How old are you?
29, mate.
29.
29.
You know I'm 50, right?
No way.
This is my house. Welcome to
The fact that he is 50, he's like 6 years older than me, he's lasted a long time. Like his number's almost up if he doesn't change and get real.
Red Roof Ranch Rehab and Social Club.
Fair enough, man.
Just help yourself and go right in the front door. I'm going to go in the back door. There's no steps that way.
No problem at all.
And
boss.
I'll meet you inside the house there.
Okay, meet you inside.
All right.
I love hunting. Might be a bit of karma involved here.
The short distance from the door to the bed leaves Jeff fighting for breath.
Hey, Bobby. You okay?
At 40 stone, Jeff has a catalogue of serious health problems.
My kidneys failed on me about 2 years ago. It was one of the worst nights of my life, and I was told that if I wasn't given medicines and I didn't start pushing some of that fluid out, that I would die, that I was in renal failure.
Okay.
Sepsis had took over, and that's when the infection in my leg got into.
Wow. Okay, so the internet has decided to slow down a bit. We're just stopping here right now, and you can see that that looks really, really scary. You know, to have your body looking like that and your skin, you know, your skin is your largest organ, and the skin is obviously telling him there's a problem, we're not happy. So when people don't change, when you're not changing something, you're choosing it. We need to get real, honest, just tough love with these individuals, with anyone who is disempowering themselves through, you know, terrible behavior like this.
And in my leg got into my bloodstream.
Wow, not worth it, is it?
The surgeons came in and they marked on my leg. They were going to cut my leg off. They were going to just try to save my life. And on the third day, my body responded to the antibiotics.
I couldn't think of any worse nightmare.
Oh, well, that's just the beginning. He seriously doesn't think... I'm shocked. I mean, like, the guy is 29, so he's still young, and the body is still resilient. It's getting beaten down, that's for sure, but it's still stronger than obviously him at 50. This is great for him to see.
I'm only, what, 7, 8 stone off him? I'm not going to end up like that. No. Can I see myself like it? Well, if I carry on the way I'm doing, then hell yeah. But it ends now. Chair. No, sorry. No.
Great, great. I'm so happy for him. I'm so happy he's getting real.
Anymore.
Swelling in my legs is excruciating. The pain is just horrible.
I've started noticing myself, I can't like muck about and run around on the beach like I used to without getting out of...
I want to see him eating. See, they're not showing this guy eating. He probably doesn't want to, but yeah, you know he's just eating rubbish. Like, he's basically bedbound. The wife is just a feeder. She's feeding him rubbish. He probably screams for it and threatens her. Who knows? You know, behind closed doors, if you're a fly on the wall, it would be a very ugly situation.
Puff.
As Michael and Jeff compare notes, Dr. Christian is on his way to Virginia to check that the shock treatment he prescribed Michael is working.
Now, Jeff was previously a very fit, active guy.
Hey, Dr. Christian.
He enjoyed hunting, he enjoyed shooting, he enjoyed climbing up mountains. He's now basically confined to a wheelchair with completely limited mobility. Mike is still reasonably active, he still works as a bouncer, and I'm concerned that he thinks everything is fine and that he doesn't realise how quickly and how fast these problems do come on.
Was he just eating a salad? That is definitely for the show. He's eating a salad.
Watermelon good.
Hey.
Dr. Christian has the tight shirt on, I noticed.
Mike, how are you?
Hello, sir.
Christian, nice to see you.
Wow.
Jeff, I'm Christian.
Hey, Christian.
How are you? All right?
How you doing?
I'm all right, thank you.
Welcome to Bedford County, Virginia,
Well,
man.
thank you for having me. So how's it going? How are you boys getting on?
What we have in common both is we both got very quiet when we started eating.
It was all attention diverted onto the food, right?
Everybody's like that, bro. You're not special in that way. We all love to eat. A lot of us get quiet when we eat. I mean, like, I think he's really kind of just relaxed into this eating disorder label, you know, like, oh, I have this and, you know, it's basically a disease. I can't overcome it. You know what I mean? I'm getting these vibes.
Food is my heroin.
Yeah. The problem with food is you need food all the time. It's always got to be around.
Exactly.
So it's a question of quantity control and quality control more than anything else. And it's difficult.
Jeff's addiction to food has cost him dearly, and Dr. Christian wants to make sure that Jeff's experience really does act as a warning for Michael.
You can't be addicted to food. Think about it. We need food to survive. It's not an addiction. Sure, substances, there can be addictive substances, but we've all had these addictive substances. But some of us have not been smart and have been trying to hoard and procrastinate basically with life and put aside real life challenges because we just want to eat instead and we're not taking responsibility. So yeah, it's...
Jeff, what would you say your quality of life is like now?
I call it trapped in my room. I've been trapped in my room for 3 years.
3 years like this?
Yeah.
It must be horrific.
You've allowed yourself to be trapped in your room. I would like to rephrase that.
For you, and I couldn't even begin to imagine, you know, if I couldn't go out with my mates and have a drink.
This is absolutely one of the worst ways to live your life. You take your family with you. They don't get to go out and live a real life. I can't take...
Yeah, you're responsible for this. I'm sorry, but like hearing him like this is really like, hang on. You have many, many chances to change before you got to be like this.
Take my son to a baseball game. It's horrible.
You're choosing that. It's horrible, but it's not that bad. It's horrible, but it's not bad enough for me to change. I'm still going to put myself first in that way.
I'm afraid that conversation in there was, well, it was quite upsetting.
As if I found it
Wasn't
very
it? And you found it
upsetting.
upsetting, I think.
If I ever ended up like that, if my mother had to see me like that, had to do everything for me, have to look after me like that, I don't think I could live myself, man.
Do you think the memory, the picture of Jeff in his bed like that, really unable to do much at all, let's face it, you know, do you think that's going to stick with you?
in crying in distress of what's happened to him, I mean, it's enough to deter anyone.
Let's correct the language again. What's happened to him? It's more like what he has allowed, what he's imposed on himself, what he's allowed to happen. You know what I'm saying? We need this more responsible, self-responsible languaging.
This has totally shocked me.
Good. That was the point.
The situation he created for himself.
Christian heads off, leaving Michael to say goodbye to Jeff.
I wish you only the very best from the deepest part of my heart.
You too as well, sir.
Oh, man. I enjoyed it.
I found this trip to be a very enlightening experience. What shocked me the most is just his lack of independence, his lack of freedom. And
I didn't hear this guy from America once say, don't let yourself get like this. You know what I mean? Change now, stop eating rubbish, nothing like that.
And I'm looking very much forward to the next step now with the diet swap. And I'm going to smash it to pieces in the nicest way possible.
It's time to put good intentions.
I like his attitude.
To the test, Michael's back in the UK and checking into the feeding clinic for a 2-day intensive stay. Joining him is super skinny meal skipper Sam. Sam's fed up of being skinny and struggling to...
Is he really fed up with being skinny? I don't buy that. I think he likes it. He wants to look this way. He's in the solarium, getting the teeth whitened. There's just a lot of things here that my experienced mind can tell that this is a choice, for sure. It's not like, oh, you know, I don't have time to eat.
To find fashion that fits. He barely consumes 1,100 calories a day, the recommended intake of a toddler. In contrast, Man Mountain Michael has a BMI of 61.2, which is over twice what it should be. He eats over 5,000 calories a day in a diet packed with salt and fat.
So glad they said salt and fat. They didn't say sugar, they said salt and fat.
Christian hopes that their time spent at the clinic will give them insight into their dreadful diets, and with this in mind, they tackle their first breakfast. Michael starts the day with a fried egg and 2 slices of toast, then moves on to a large chicken tikka and spinach flatbread, a packet of crisps and a packet of rice cakes, and finishes it all off with a glass of diet cola and a green tea with 1 sugar.
And there you go, the diet cola. Okay, so because he's afraid of the sugar in the cola, he is choosing the diet. Oh, this is the funniest thing, really, really. To have all that fat and everything, but watch out for the sugar in the cola.
Versus Sam's breakfast of 2 oat biscuits and a latte.
I'm guessing you...
2 oat biscuits, okay.
You'd be on the move when you're eating this, then? Mm-hmm. Have you been in the air at this point, or have you just nicked them off a trolley?
It's a 2-hour commute for me to work, so I'll be having that on the way to work.
I mean, there are other things you can grab on the way, man. I mean, like I say, you grab biscuits. I mean, you can eat the wrap in your hand, I suppose.
Oh, how about grabbing some bananas too?
Do you have this every day?
Every day.
Every day.
Wow, so he has that every day. And it's not that it's a lot of food, it's actually a lot of rubbish. We can see that. There is not as much meat as I thought there would be for this first one. But he's got some toast, which is fine, and got the wrap, which is fine, and some corn crackers. But, you know, there's so much fat associated. You know the drill. The fat is going to make you fat. Just remember, very simple rule. Obviously, the excess.
When I stayed in my grandfather's house, I'd have egg and toast. It's just something I'm used to.
It's just an awful lot of food to have first thing in the morning.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I know there's, what is it you say, breakfast like a king, lunch like something, and dinner like a pauper or something like that.
Oh, no, mate, I'm a king all the time, mate.
True. That is a good way to eat, actually. More like eating the breakfast like a large one, eating like a smaller lunch and a smaller dinner. If you get enough calories, don't ever restrict. But you know what I'm saying? It's better to have that big smoothie. Please have it. All that glucose and fructose production from that smoothie, it's amazing. It's just pure energy for you. There's a lot of living nutrition, a lot of vitamins, phytochemicals, polyphenols, a lot of great stuff.
If I get another size portion like that, I'm going to be relatively scared for my life.
Okay, this looks like lunch.
If Sam thought breakfast was scary, lunch may well terrify him.
Lunch, baby.
Michael has 2 large rolls, each filled with a whole chicken breast, pickle, spinach and salad, 2 bags of crisps, a chocolate bar and 2 pints of Diet Cola.
There it is. Let's just have a quick look there. Diet Cola again. What a joke. Do you think it's really better to get this artificial sweetener into your body, into your bloodstream, than actual sugar, which is just sucrose that breaks down the glucose and fructose? Your brain knows exactly what to do with it. Okay, he's got some fatty cookies there, got some fatty chips, fat, and the chicken breast. It's a large serving of dead bird on some bread rolls. I mean, the bread rolls are going to be the least offensive thing there.
2 pints.
Yeah, it's basically around about this time I'd be getting tired and need a buzz. And I noticed that you have nothing.
I was clearly busy.
Very busy.
I notice you have nothing. He doesn't sound too happy about that. Okay, so he's going to use a busy excuse again.
Enjoy.
Thanks.
Dude, well, I don't know what to say, man.
He's going to end up eating the freaking, like, the table placemat.
The thing is with me, if food's not in front of me, I don't think about it.
Really?
Sorry.
Yeah, but that's not healthy. That's there's some mental issues going on there because we need it for fuel, and he's underweight. He could gain weight so easily if he started to eat enough, just consciously thinking about that and obviously allowing himself, because he is stopping himself at this point.
Don't apologise, mate. That's why we're both here for, is a wake-up call, and my God.
I was mortified when I saw that Michael had nothing. Such a lovely guy. And I'm like, I'm really sorry.
First time he's been eating properly, eating sufficient amounts probably for a while.
I won't lie to you, mate. If I'd taken a bite of that, half of that'd be gone.
It's a lot of food. Again, big portions.
I don't see 2 sandwiches as big.
I mean, if I was to pile that on there, and there, and there, it just keeps going.
I mean, that's not bad. It just depends on what's in the sandwich. You can eat sandwiches. Yes, you can eat sandwiches, you can eat bread. But the things that I want you to take notice of is the amount of sodium in the bread, okay? And the fact that it isn't a lot of fiber in bread even, because the grains have been refined, so there's not a lot of fiber. Obviously some salad is great, but the animal flesh, the animal tissue, muscle tissue of an animal is not good for frugivores. It creates a whole lot of problems for us, doesn't give us any fiber, carbohydrates, or, the water quantity, okay, it's not going to give us a lot of water either, although it does contain water, but yeah, it's not optimal.
Going. You may not eat it in that form, but that's what you're eating.
It's a mountain decline.
That's how I see it, though. It's too much.
Yeah, because he is trying to stay skinny. He sees it as too much. This is not too much volume. It's just too much fat. Volume is okay. Humans are natural volume eaters. Just quickly, look at the amazing results people are getting. Amy here, excellent transformation in a short amount of time. Rachel, I lost 20 pounds in 4 months on the Rotor 4 diet. My mum was so impressed. She and my little sister will be joining me. These are real people. Tonya gave me 2 testimonials, not too far apart. She started out at 317 pounds and she's down to 289, and then she left another one. As of yesterday, I'm down to 279. I feel great, getting ready to pop outside for my morning run. This individual says, Freelee saved my life, lost 10 kilos in 9 months. I've lost 10 pounds so far and never feel hungry or deprived. Lucifer is my dad. Freelee, I was so honoured that you shared my work. I'm doing Rotor 4 since January. She's lost almost 50 pounds since going vegan and high carb as well. Rotor 4, I've been doing Rotor 4 since January. Thanks for putting yourself forward and speaking up. This individual, I'm now 12 pounds down, clearer skin, never craving anything. Yeah, just stop and read. Just stop and read their testimonials. I've been Rotor 4 since since April. I have lost over 12 kilos now, slimming down more each day. But best of all, my energy is through the roof. My partner has also joined me. Kirsty Charles, it doesn't matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. Starting weight 209 pounds, current weight 117 pounds. Raw till 4, baby. And I recommend you check out all my books, and you can get a great price for the bundle.
It's reality smacking in you in the face. I was horrified.
I'm done. We're good.
Yeah, me too, man. I could eat another morsel.
But if Michael could squeeze something in, you can guarantee it'd be crisps. He admits to getting through a multi-bag in just one sitting. And with borderline high blood pressure, Dr. Christian wants to hit him with the hard facts.
Good.
Hang on. This is chips now. Wow, a huge waste of potatoes.
That there is a year's worth of your crisps.
Something I think is interesting though is why didn't they, he's meant to be the big meat eater. He's talking about eating meat all the time, but they've chosen on this show to focus on the crisps. I hope they get into the meat part of it, or it's going to look very, very biased, and you know what I mean? Like meat industry. No, we don't want to say anything bad against the meat industry. Like, you know what I'm saying here?
A year's worth.
It's a hell of a lot of crisps. It's a couple of multi-bags worth, isn't it?
Michael eats a whopping 676 packets of crisps annually. That's nearly 2 packets a day.
It's a lot of fat and it's a lot of salt.
Good. A lot of fat, a lot of salt.
Lots of salt.
Michael gets through a staggering 5 kilos of salt a year. More than double the recommended level.
And that's really bad for your weight. You have to balance out the potassium, sodium in your body. You need to get bananas. This is why bananas are so fantastic. They help balance out excess sodium weight in your body. It's a bit more technical than that, but having the potassium really helps that balance, the fluid balance in your body. Obviously, this is ridiculous. Is that actual salt? It looks like sugar.
That's ridiculous. I had absolutely no idea that was what I was chucking in my system a year. It's quite sick, actually.
High salt intake is linked to stomach cancer, osteoporosis, as well as high blood pressure. So Dr. Christian's worried that Michael is headed for disaster.
That's this.
He honestly should be focused. It's either not focusing on the saturated animal fat, again, they're focusing on something like salt.
What is wrong with that?
This is something called a hemorrhagic stroke. So a blood vessel essentially has burst, causing a massive great bleed into the brain, resulting in the death of this person.
The biggest cause is actually eating the saturated animal fat for blood clots.
Jesus.
And the salt is accompanied. People aren't just eating salt straight, are they? Think about that. They're not just eating salt straight. They're having it with meat. We're having it with, obviously, the oil. And that's something to think about.
High blood pressure, which is often caused by too much salt in the diet, puts the
Yeah, but what are you having the salt on?
heart under massive strain, often leading to stroke and heart attack.
I like my independence. I like to go and do what I want to do. So that if I was to have a stroke and then become disabled or something, that'd be my worst nightmare. Like I wouldn't want that.
Having a stroke is nobody's fault, but there are factors that you are in control of that can make having one of these less likely. And at the
that was a real, twisting of the whole scenario there. Having a stroke is no one's fault, but
moment you are doing everything possible to have a stroke and to have a heart attack. It's almost like you're working at it quite hard for it to happen.
Okay.
Think of it in that way.
To be honest, though, I think it's put me off crisps for life, as I have no intention of ending up like that.
And so now we're just talking about crisps. You didn't talk about, because I don't want him to say, oh, you put me off meat for life.
Dinner time. And Sam's got a mountain of spaghetti bolognese with grated cheddar, half a garlic baguette and a pint of squash.
I feel like the super skinny is just going to eat quite a bit just to show that, look, when I have food in front of me, I eat. See, it's not because I'm deliberately under eating. This is just what I feel about this guy. I fully believe that he is deliberately under-eating to stay skinny, and he doesn't want to gain weight.
Whereas Michael has a starter-sized portion of chicken Caesar salad.
After seeing what I've seen today, I am absolutely amazed that for your job and your commute.
Hang on, sorry, I haven't actually seen what they're having there. Let's go back to see what they're having. So, yeah, so he's got bolognese, which is okay, you can eat pasta. Yes, you can eat pasta, just keep the sauce low fat, throw the oil out, you don't need that, and the bread, you know, keep the butter off the bread and the oil off the bread. And it looks like the other guy has salmon or something, some fish and salad.
Sam's got a mountain of spaghetti bolognese with grated cheddar, half a garlic baguette and a pint of squash. Whereas Michael has a starter-sized portion of chicken Caesar salad.
After seeing what I've
Chicken Caesar salad, yeah, a tiny portion.
seen today, I am absolutely amazed that for your job and your commute and what you do and everything, and you have existed on 2 biscuits, a cup of coffee, and some rabbit food.
The coffee is definitely getting, he's probably not showing all the coffee he's having. I would actually think that he is just on coffee a lot of the day.
I am absolutely amazed, as I'm sure you're shocked with the sheer volume of food you've ingested today.
It's loads.
I love how like Superfat is calling Super Skinny out.
There's an awful lot.
Lots and lots, unfortunately.
Soon conversation turns to childhood.
What about growing up? Who looked after you mainly whilst growing up?
I was picked on a lot, so I would leave school, go down my grandfather's house.
Yeah.
I'd eat food there.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'd read the book, as you do. And then I'd go home and I'd eat again. And then it's just that reoccurring cycle.
So, I remember you saying earlier on today that your granddad made you breakfast.
Yeah.
That's what you had.
I have a feeling Super Skinny was probably picked on as well, like a lot of us.
So were you there a lot?
I was in my grandfather's a very lot. You know, he was like my best friend, and he was a very big influence on my life. And I lost the majority of my weight in 2006 when I went on holiday. When I come back, he fell ill, and it's cancer. And like within 3-4 weeks, he'd passed away.
I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. I put a lot of my weight back on after that because I was just, you know, my life was just a void. I didn't see the point. So
you did fill that void with food?
Oh yeah, ice cream and.
He procrastinated with the food. He didn't deal with his emotions, obviously. Procrastinating with the food and trying to just hoard those feel-good emotions, and then they get malnourished, and it's this bad cycle, obviously. But it's in their control. We all have the choice to just put the food in and procrastinate. But yeah, this is what he was taught from young as well. So.
Bourbon become my best friends. I wish I miss him terribly, and he's a big hole in my life that he's not around anymore. Maybe I'm filling that with food. I don't know. Perhaps I am, but I miss him every day.
I do feel sorry for him, but he's killing himself, isn't he? Really?
I don't feel sorry for him at all. It's not feeling sorry for people, like having sympathy for them. It doesn't help them. You have to remember this. Giving them actual tough love and a solution that works, that's actually giving love to these people. That's actually really, really caring. Not these people like, oh, poor guy, oh, leave him alone. Ugh, they don't care at all. It's just a whole lot of lip service.
He needs the wake-up call of, Michael, come on, you're a nice man. You've got a lot to live for. Don't let yourself down.
Dr. Christian's in Las Vegas, investigating the obesity epidemic in the States. While Sin City takes a staggering $6 billion annually, it's not bright lights and easy streets for all its residents.
Wow, so it sounds like Las Vegas, Sin City is like one of the biggest places around. That's why they're visiting there in America. Let me know in the comments below, is that the case?
Away from the high rollers, a recent survey found that 16% of people here are worried that they cannot afford their next meal. And many, many studies have linked poverty with obesity.
A report published by the American Diabetes Association in 2011 found that people who live in the poorest areas of America are the most prone to obesity. Helping treat this problem is leading.
Yet they're buying all of this junk food, which can add up to a lot. So that's a bit of an issue, isn't it? When they're buying so much food that is processed, it's expensive. If they were really in a poverty situation and they were buying like bananas, rice, potatoes, beans, stuff like that, they would be lean. So it's the wrong choice, and yeah.
Bariatric surgeon Dr. Thomas Umbach.
I wanted to talk to you, Dr. Umbach, about the link between poverty and obesity, because that's been sort of pretty established, hasn't it? Is it something that you've noticed in your practice?
Absolutely. A lot of our patients are in dire straits. We have a lot of folks that are struggling.
But they have enough food, so they're struggling. They got the food covered.
Economically, struggling with their weight. A lot of folks are struggling with both.
What do you think are the causes for weight gain when you are poor? Is it food quality? What's going on?
We see so many factors in play. There's certainly a role for genetics. There's a role for family, how you're raised in your family. Psychological factors come into play. Social and economic factors come into play. It all is one big pot.
There's a real lack of him trying to say that they should have interviewed Dr. Now. He would have said they're eating too much. They need to eat less, but obviously that is not the issue about eating too much of the wrong food, yes. But the fact that they are buying things that are really expensive, a whole lot of junk food that's super expensive, when they could be spending it on, like I said, rice, potatoes, beans, bananas, the cheapest foods on the planet. So this whole poverty thing is I think it's just people who don't have control of their life and their emotions, basically. They're procrastinating. They're choosing this as a form of procrastination, like I've said. But obviously there's childhood involved as well, and how they're brought up.
One of Dr. Umbach's patients is 43-year-old mother of two, Deborah.
Hello, hello.
Over time, Deborah has gained weight to the point that she was unable to work and found herself in a cycle of low income and bad food choices.
But this low income and bad food choices, if you've got a low income but you can still spend all this money on this food, this is not making sense.
Now weighing over 28 stone, she's hit crisis point.
How hard would you say life is for you currently?
I have two children.
Seriously, people in real poverty, they can't afford to buy those foods. They just simply cannot afford it. They don't even have access to these foods. So...
And I cannot really do very many things with them. And I also used to have two jobs.
Yeah.
And as a result of not being able to stand, I can't do either of the jobs.
There we go. So the obesity, again, taxpayers are paying for this situation. She doesn't work anymore, and now she's on benefits because of the obesity, because you can get benefits from the condition as a result of the obesity. Yeah, it's like...
So financially, you're not working. So it's fair to say you're really struggling right now.
Yes, we are struggling.
Financially, you're really struggling.
Absolutely.
She's getting government payout. She's getting government benefits. She's eating like someone who's wealthy with all this junk food, this expensive processed food.
Do you think it is possible to eat healthily on a budget?
With just one of us working, and my husband's hours are usually cut because everywhere it's cut. I have to honestly say it's very difficult.
Bullshit. He said, is it hard to eat healthy on a budget? She's like, yeah, it is, because my husband's hours or whatever have been cut, blah, blah, blah. Hang on. The cheapest foods are the healthiest. It just so happens to be like that in this world. You're buying super ultra processed foods. They're expensive, sis. See, another victim mentality here. And I'm glad he was sort of pointing it out a bit. He has to call her out more.
I end up going to food banks sometimes, and What they give you is usually pasta. It's usually tons of bread.
These are the cheap foods that are actually going to make her slim.
Hot dogs, you know, very high fat, cheap, but to fill you up. That's what we've lived on for the last year. It is hard. It's, you know, it's hard to feel like you're... Sorry.
It's okay.
So these individuals, they get themselves into these situations, and of course I feel for her as a fellow human, but she is not facing reality. She's not facing the fact that she's put herself in this situation and that she can get herself out of it, and that like the cheapest foods are the healthiest. So there's a lot of like self-responsibility going on here, avoidance.
It's hard to admit that you're defeated. Something's got to be done so that I can get back to work and be able to provide for our family. And
something's got to be done. What do you think that something is?
You're fighting this?
Yes.
Good.
I am fighting it.
As a last resort, Deborah's decided to have weight loss surgery paid for by state-funded insurance.
You ready?
Paid for by state-funded insurance. There you go. Exactly, I'm glad that they said that. She's decided to do something, and it's not to change her diet. Is it really? Is where she could have tried that first.
Ready for all this?
I'm ready.
Deborah's having a gastric bypass, which radically reduces the size of her stomach and subsequently how much food she can.
Okay, let's move it on from here just a bit. I just don't want to see the surgery stuff. Oh, hang on, we're going back. Let's go forward. Ta-da!
This is hopefully the start of a new chapter in Deborah's life. The gastric bypass will mean that she can lose weight, get more mobile, and then look for work. There's still a long way to go, and she has a lot of challenges ahead, but this is a really good chance for her to lift herself and her family out of poverty.
Can't do a plant-based diet, though. Don't want to do a high-carb diet. I tell you, a lot of these people just don't feel like it's enough for them, and they can't feel satisfied, but they've got to... Anyway, education is obviously lacking severely here.
After 90 minutes of keyhole surgery and 4 days of recovery, Deborah's positive about the future.
I feel great. I just started going for walks with my family. This is a
See all the medication there?
new thing because usually I'm on my scooter and they're running alongside of me. I feel better. I'm motivated, and of course it's...
I am so glad that she is moving. I'm so glad that she seemed to, you know, she just needed, she needed this, I guess, to change and to actually get motivated, whereas it could have just, didn't have to be end in it didn't have to end in a surgery. You know, it didn't have to be like this.
It's going to only get better.
Since filming, Deborah has lost 100 pounds and is busy job hunting.
I am so glad to hear that she has lost weight. That is great. But can she keep it off? That is the big thing.
It's day 2 in the feeding clinic, and Dr. Christian wants Sam and Michael to think more deeply about why their eating habits have become so unbalanced. They start by looking through some old photos.
First one.
How old were you here?
6, 7 years of age.
I don't think you look a particularly big 6-year-old.
Not at all. Yeah, I just look like a cheeky chappy.
Yeah, you do.
I think my weight started kicking in about 11, 12 years of age. I stopped going out.
Right.
Because I was picked on. So I would rather go down my grandfather's house and read a book. And then, you know, I'd eat in my grandfather's house, then I'd eat in my mother's house. And that's when I think the root of all the habits started.
Kids are cruel, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, I'd always turn to food as a source of comfort.
I mean, as I've said, a lot of us get bullied.
Comfort eating when you're a kid, when you're getting picked on, has now changed to eating when you're stressed and when you're bored.
You don't get picked on anymore, you just get stressed, so...
And for Sam, there's a letter from home.
Oh, it's from my dad. I know you often make light of your build, and I know deep down you'd really love to have more bulk on your frame. You've never been a big eater, and although you love to cook, I think it's the fun of cooking and creating the meal you enjoy rather than the eating. I hope this programme of planned eating will enable you to gain the weight and looks you have strived for so long. Good luck, love, Dad. P.S. Note to self, you're grown up now and sandwiches can be eaten completely, even the crusts.
Oh, they knew to get the dad to make him cry.
It's really, really sweet. You're right.
Wasn't expecting that.
Hey, come on. That's what parents are for, dude. Remind us we're human, after all.
I just didn't expect my dad to have such an opinion on it. I guess he knows exactly how I feel. I will be. Gotta gain this weight.
And you will.
I question whether he will. I really do question. He probably will eventually because he'll binge out, but we don't even know. He might be on all sorts of things like drugs and we don't know. And a lot of caffeine, that's what I believe. The caffeine is definitely suppressing the appetite. Intentionally, he's doing this.
All right? Hey, miss. Okay, I'll make soft side. I'll be okay.
It's funny how he goes in to be like the caressed one, the comforted one, to his chest like that.
Okay.
Don't mess up.
But just as their friendship begins to blossom, here comes lunch with the potential to ruin it all. Because all Michael has is an empty placemat.
Dude!
Oh no, Michael.
Are you ever hungry?
Whereas Sam's taking on a mammoth portion of Jamaican chicken curry and rice, made with 700 grams of meat and a whole jar of sauce, a side salad, a chocolate bar, 1 pint of Diet Cola, a pint of squash and a large...
Okay, let's just stop it there for a moment. He's got this Jamaican rice dish, which is 700 grams of meat, a lot of fat, a lot of animal tissue there. Got the fake cola, the fake sugar. He's got some cookies, a salad. Yeah, he'd probably eat the salad. And crisps. Yeah, he's got the standard crisps, of course. Yep. What can I say?
bag of crisps.
I mean, the rice is obviously guilty by association there. You know, it's been abused. The rice has been. Take the rice away, take that stuff away, leave the rice alone, it's healthy.
With so much food, Sam has a realisation.
I enjoy making food more than I enjoy eating it.
Yeah. But surely...
My way of relaxing is chopping and cutting veg. I'm not fussed about the end product.
Yeah, but that is something up here that's not normal. That's something that he has developed because he wants to look a certain way. He's got a little styled hair. He's very much into his appearance and he wants to look the small, feminine type for the boyfriend, most likely. You know, there are different types. We've got the Dr. Christian. He is also into guys. Got the Dr. Christian kind of, you know, the big muscly ones, and then there's some guys who are more into the feminine. They're like, he is like the girl in the relationship, if you know what I mean.
I guess I just like making other people happy. It makes everybody else happy when I cook them nice food.
Fair enough.
No, I'm good.
And he's playing with the food too. Did you see that behaviour just there? He's like flattening it out and doing like a pattern with it. Yeah, this is another clear sign that he's trying to avoid eating.
I can't eat any more of that, it's too much spice.
It's fine, it's fine.
Sam needs to realise how essential a balanced diet is to his health.
Him and Sam might be actually a good couple. You know what I'm saying? Christian and Sam.
He now needs to work out how he can make the time to make those all-important changes.
Michael and Sam are coming to the end of their stay at the feeding clinic, and it's time for their last supper.
I got food.
Michael has a small sushi bento box, 1 udon noodles in miso soup, and a handful of chocolate caramels.
Wow, this is a big meal. There's a big meal for Sam this day. So you've got to remember that the miso can be okay, very high in sodium. It's another like fluid gainer on the body because salt attracts water. Very, not hydrophobic, what is the word? Yeah, anyway, it attracts water. And the sushi is okay, but make it plant-based.
I love sushi.
Sam's got 2 chicken.
He loves sushi. See what I mean? Like this could be great for him, plant-based sushi. It's a great alternative to what he's eating. Very satisfying. You don't need to put flesh in there. Put tofu if you have to.
Chicken breasts fried with mushrooms, served up on 2 packets of instant noodles, a huge plate of couscous, a chocolate bar, a bowl of bran cereal, an energy drink and a pint of orange squash.
Bring it up.
That bran cereal was definitely not something he wanted to eat. That must have been like a day where he was just trying to get more fibre in.
Once again, awful lot of food.
Yeah, it's been a clear message over the meals, isn't it? I need to cut everything in half, man. Oh my God, that's really nice. I'm sorry. That's gorgeous. I'll keep this, you keep that.
See, this guy could do great on plant-based sushi.
So tell me, what do you think you've had out of the experience?
I'm happy to be here and I'm very happy to have had this experience.
You've probably put a pound on at least, haven't you?
At least. I'm going to have to be a lot more organised than what I am with my food.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to stop worrying about everybody else. And everything else, possibly.
Well, you know, once you sort their heads out, the body will do what the mind says. So everything I've seen over the course of the meals and everything I've done with Dr. Christian has really, like, given me an education badly needed.
So the meal swap is over, and it's time for Dr. Christian to give Sam and Michael their personalised meal plans.
So guys, you've done it. You've got to the end of the diet swap and you're going home. And it wasn't as bad as you thought, was it? No, it wasn't. I'll answer that for you. So Michael, this one's yours. 2 things. Boredom, portion size. That's all I'm going to say. You know what I mean?
100%.
Sam, this one is yours. And look, I know with your job it can be difficult. If this is going to work, food has to come first. It has to be your #1 priority. Do that and you'll see great successes. Both of you. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Michael's plan drastically reduces his portion sizes.
That's the problem. You don't have to drastically reduce the portion sizes.
And swaps crisps for healthier options, cutting his calorie intake by half to 2,000.
Gosh, he's 450 pounds. 2,500 calories for him is not enough. It's not going to keep him on the plan long enough to get the results and to keep the results. We need to stop focusing on this instant gratification, like the quick results. This should be a lifetime diet change, lifestyle change. That a diet he can enjoy and keep the weight off for life.
1,500 a day. Sam's plan more than doubles his daily intake to 2,800 calories.
Good.
And calls for him to make time for meals. He needs to start eating breakfast and lunch and add healthy snacks in between.
We will see. We will see if he actually does put on weight. Because I have a feeling he probably won't. I haven't seen this, but maybe he will. I don't know.
It's been eye-opening, and yesterday was the hardest bit. My stomach was going all knotty and stuff. Quite clearly there are some issues that need addressing, such as my salt intake and my portion sizes. The future.
I have been very shocked, and I've been very disappointed in myself. I always thought that I ate quite healthily, and maybe what I do eat is healthy. I just don't have enough of it.
It's not particularly healthy what you do eat, but yeah, and you definitely don't have enough of it. Yeah, I could definitely help these 2 guys out.
Dr. Christian will be checking up on their progress in a couple of months' time.
Look after yourself. I'll see you soon, right?
Yep. See you later.
Take care of yourself.
Okay, here we go.
More energy.
So they're putting him on the scales. I just find it interesting because the last session they didn't put them on the scales and I was a little bit sus. I thought the woman actually gained weight. So yeah, they put him on this time.
Within myself, I feel a lot more confident. Bones are disappearing. Yay.
He looks pretty much the same. He has different colour hair. Maybe he just changed his hair colour and he got some more facial hair, I think.
Today I'm feeling nervous as hell. Judgment Day is finally here, so, we'll see what the scale
The shot of Dr. Jessup in the reflection on the scales there.
says, and I think I've lost something because I've gone down a shirt size.
Michael, welcome back.
Hello.
It's nice to see you again. Tell me how your new, healthier lifestyle is going.
It's going well so far. Gone back into training and we've been hitting the gym.
So you're exercising?
Yeah.
Good. And then
He doesn't look a lot different, but let's see.
what about your eating?
I'm better prepared, so in my house and in my car there's always like a healthy snack option, so I don't go to the fast food chain in the morning. I have a bowl of cereal if I go to work, you know. One key point is that I've not eaten one bag of crisps since I left the clinic, not one.
That is great. Good on him. I hope they actually... He has to replace those calories with something though. The worst thing is to cut things out and not to replace them.
That was going to be one of my questions, really.
The swimming pool of crisps has stayed with me all this time, and if I've got to eat something, I'll just grab a pack of jerky, which is low in fat, high in protein.
The focus really for me.
So instead, oh no, instead he actually buys a pack of beef jerky, I think he said. He's like, high in protein, oh gosh. See, this is what happens when the people in the show they don't have the education on actual, you know, healthy human nutrition, so they don't educate these individuals, and then they make choices like beef jerky.
Me as a doctor is all about health, and your health risks at the weight that you were when we first met were really...
But Christian, I think it's Christian Jessen, his name is. Christian, why did you not comment on the fact that he said he's replaced the crisps with beef jerky? Why did you not say anything?
Really significantly high, and now every visit to the gym that you make and every pound that you lose will be reducing those risks.
I mean, I've definitely noticed there's no more issue with blood pressure anymore, because I've had that checked since you've left you, and everything's okay on that, so it's definitely going the right direction.
What are you most proud of about what you've done?
The fact I've stuck to it. This is the most sustained period of time that I've ever stuck to it. And, you know, I've got the momentum behind me now, so I just got to make sure I carry it forward when I leave here today.
Sam, it's good to see you back again. Tell me, how's it all been? Have you found it difficult to make changes, or have they all happened as I hoped?
It has been extremely difficult for me to make some changes, unfortunately, but I've got there in the end. I've sorted things so that I've always got something to eat when I'm not going to work. That was one of the big places that I missed food, was when I was on the road driving to work, because I've got a 2-hour commute.
So these are big changes, actually.
Yeah.
You're planning and thinking ahead.
The one thing that I have noticed is that food is a lot more on my mind now. I wake up and I'm hungry, and I think I might have put a bit of weight on.
You do? Really? Why do you think that?
I'm starting to fill out a little bit more, especially around my midriff, and mainly around my legs.
It's time for...
I don't know, he looks pretty much the same to me, maybe a little bit, but, you know, he could go up and down. And he's still obviously keeping himself skinny, maybe not super skinny.
Sam and Michael to be reunited.
Oh my God.
Hello again.
Hi. Look at you. Oh, such a handshake, isn't it?
He is still skinny.
Oh, God.
You right, man? Hey, you look good, man.
Yeah, you too. Crisps, fizzy drinks?
I haven't touched a bag of crisps since I left.
Really?
Crisps, fizzy drinks, like the fizzy drinks are contributing to his weight gain.
Oh, you can see my chin. I got a chin. I got a chin now.
My indicator was when one of the buttons flew off my uniform onto a customer, then I thought, it's clearly fitting now.
Hey, you look good, dude.
So do you.
I come.
He says he looks good, but he didn't say, oh, you look like you gained weight.
Bearing the all-important figures. The good news for you guys, because I know, Michael, you are itching for these numbers, aren't you?
Yeah, with a combination of excitement and dread.
But you've done well. You had a lot of hard work to do, both of you, didn't you?
Definitely.
Yeah, a lot of hard work. Sam, should we put you out of your misery first? All right, then. Have you gained or lost weight? You definitely have gained weight, Sam. You have listened to what I've said. You have made food a priority. You are eating regularly. I know you are, because the scales don't lie. And actually, you've put on half a stone.
Really?
Hang on, so he's put on 7 pounds, which is like 3 kilos. That's nothing. I knew it. I knew he's controlling his weight, deliberately under-eating. 3 kilos is like a, you know, like a fruity poop. There's like a dump. It's nothing to celebrate at all. And Dr. Christian's like, wow, you've done so amazing, or you're prioritizing meals, and no, he's not. It's only 3 kilos in months.
Which is a phenomenal amount of weight to put on in.
A phenomenal amount of weight to put on when you're his size. You're so skinny already. Putting on 3 kilos is not a phenomenal, anyway.
Such a short time, so fantastically well done. And also, you've put on 4 inches around your middle. 4 inches. That's why your buttons ping off when you're working. So really well done. Are you pleased with that?
I'm really pleased.
Michael, what do you think of that?
It's good effort, man.
Half a stone is not bad, is it?
He doesn't. The other guy's like, this guy hasn't changed at all. Like, I can tell he's thinking that.
Not at all, man.
And what about you?
Oh, I'd rather not know, man. Just put it in a postcard and send it to me mouse.
Well, Michael, you've lost 3 stone, 8 pounds. That's over 3.5 stone you have done.
Okay, so he's lost about 50 pounds, I believe, which is good. But that is great. That's a great start. Now let's give him a healthy, sustainable plan that he can stick to for life. Not the beef jerky plan.
Which is fantastic. Do you want some more numbers? 5.5 inches have disappeared from your belly and over 4 inches around your chest.
Must be where the shirt's coming from.
That's why the shirt's...
I mean, he was measuring that guy's belly over there. He probably just ate. That's why he was bigger around there.
loose, the jeans are...
And this one was probably fasting.
falling off you. You're a mess, man. Buy some new clothes. Come on. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
You should be proud of yourselves, so keep going. But I'm really pleased. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Okay, now they're told to do some funny dance in the background. Anyway, that is the video for today. You can see what's going on here. Like, it's not a great plan that Dr. Christian is giving them. We know it isn't, even though they're not showing us exactly. They used to kind of talk about it more, but it's obviously going to be better than what the big guy is eating, what he is eating in general. It's probably, you know, no crisps, stuff like that. That's obviously healthy, but it's not sustainable. There's a lot of unsustainable, you know, plans out there that are just calorie restriction. A lot of calorie restriction. We know that does not work. Heaps of people on a diet, it's not working for them. Anyway, that was a good video. Let me know in the comments below what you think. I want to hear your feedback. I want to hear your comments. And don't forget my books. There's a link in the description below. Don't forget to go fruit yourself today. All right. See you, fruit bats, frugivores.